Hey Legacy Builders, welcome back to Mind Your Money. In this video, I'm going to be using my annual budget workbook to close out my fifth and final budget by paycheck for September, plus I'm going to close out September's budget. So if you like this content, please like the video, share, comment, and subscribe. All right, so I'm opening up to my calendar first really quickly. I need to see what's going on here. This paycheck is for the 29th. I'm closing it out early on the 26th because I'm ready to move on to October. We have paid all of the bills we needed to, so there's nothing really to look at here. So the income that we planned to use was $700, but we're actually going to close out this budget with a $750 income. So praise the Lord for that. As we do a zero-based budget. So we're going to spend this $750 right now. 10% of whatever we use is given as a tithe. So that's $75 this week. And I did write this in pencil because I had to revamp the budget off camera. Let me get my pencil and then start over. $75 is what we're using. And that is 10% of this income. I'm doing a certain percentage every week towards savings and to investing. So since we have a little bit more to work with, I just added $1 to my emergency fund. So we planned for 15. We're going to send $16 to the emergency fund. We're going to send $10 to household, and that's $26 in total for long-term savings. For our transportation fund, the plan was $10. We're going to send $11 over there. The IRA is getting a dollar more, so we're going to put or $3 more. We're going to send $38 over there to be invested. I'm still doing a 100 shares challenge where I'm purchasing either a fractional or whole share of O every single week whenever I can, and that's going to contribute to that. So I'm happy about that. And then we have cash expenses. So $15 is going to my laundry envelope. Is it envelope or envelope, y'all? How do you say it? And then challenges is going to get $55 this week because we have a few that I really want to get done before the end of the year is out, so I can start my 10K challenge early. So cash expenses will get $70 instead of $30 this week. Miscellaneous is also a savings account with Capital One 360. That's for everything else that we couldn't fit here. So groceries, eating out, any overcharges, you know, if we went over budget somewhere, we'll pull it from miscellaneous. And that's still going to get $59 in this last paycheck. And then for bills and expenses, the rent for I keep saying November, I'm going ahead. The rent for October. This is the last installment. We need to make sure we have the full amount before the 1st. That's $300. And then I'm getting ahead of some bills. So $171 is going to be sitting in my operating account ready to pay back the credit card when we pay those two bills, which is Geico and YMCA. So our gym membership and our car insurance. We're going to pay those early. So I'm grateful for that. And that should be our zero-based budget. And we're going to start with $750 minus 75, 26, 38, 11, 70, 59, and then $471. I keep forgetting to total the bills and expensive part. Boom. We have a zero-based budget. So that means income that we ended up using was $750. The expenses equal $750. We're not over budget this week, finally. And we have $0 left remaining. So giving is easy. That was 10% of the income we use. Savings is going to be a combination of what we put towards miscellaneous and long-term. $96 divided into $750 multiplied by 100 gives us 12.8. So 12.8% of this income went to savings this week. Less than last week, but not bad. And then 5%, or a little more than 5% actually. Let's see. 38 divided into 750 multiply by 100. Yeah, so 5.1% went to investing. I would really love to get that up to 15%, but we're gonna take our slow steps, and we're gonna keep making it work. We're still building, we're still wealth building. We're just doing it one budget at a time. So now I can do some money moves. I can transfer money where it needs to go, and start updating my expense tracker for the operating account. So first up is the tithe. The tithe is going to get $75 today. Success, tithe got it's $75. Then savings, I'm going to Zelle $16 to our emergency fund with Ally. And success, $16 sent to the emergency fund. $10 is going to be transferred into household next. Success, household got her $10. And then I'm going to move down to transportation. I'm going to send $11 to that fund right now. Success, transportation got her $11. Now over to the IRA. I'm going to transfer $38 there. And success, I've submitted my transfer from this operating account to my IRA with Fidelity. This one is Fidelity. I have two IRAs, one with Vanguard, one with Fidelity. Fidelity is the one we're focusing on right now. Miscellaneous is getting $59. And success, miscellaneous got $59 today. I already pulled out the cash from the bank, so I will be cash stuffing that on Tasha's money and stuff. For bills, $300 is going to miscellaneous towards the rent for October. And success, $300 sent for the rent. That takes care of our October rent already. And then $171 is going to stay behind in this account because I have not yet paid Geico or YMCA. When it hits, we're going to pay it with this money here ahead of schedule. So that's it for this budget by paycheck. The last thing I have to do is update my expense tracker. So if you're still here for that, I appreciate you so much. So when I ended last paycheck closeout, we had $775 still in this account. I had $15 added to this from Ally Bank, and that was actually a portion of income that came from my Google AdSense revenue. So this is a portion of this is for the tithe. So this was a deposit. That's what I'm going to call it because it's depositing from another account. This was income, and it was $15. Portion of it was income. So this brought us to $790 in this account. $5 of that was investing via Robinhood earlier in the month. So that came from there. And $10 of this is actually my tithe. So I'm going to send $10 to my tithe and give account now for that. Okay, success. The next thing was a cash withdrawal. That's the $70 I pulled out for this week's budget. So $790 minus 70 is $720. The next move was $75 went to the tithe account. $645. $16 went to the emergency fund. Minus 16 brings us to $629. $10 went to household. Minus 10 brings us to $619. $11 went to transportation. Subtract that, you get $608. $59 went to miscellaneous. Subtract that, and you get $549 remaining. Then $300 went to miscellaneous for next month's rent. Minus 300 brings us to $249. Last but not least is the tithe that we sent from my AdSense revenue. So that was transfer, tithe, and that was $10. Finally, that brings us to $239. That does not include what we just sent to $239 is the final balance. That doesn't, $171 is included in that. That $171 is earmarked for 2 of October's bills. And then the $38 that I transferred from Fidelity, that's not reflected in the balance yet. So if we look at this in real time. Let's see where we are. There's a lady next door yelling at her grandson. I hope I did a good job editing that out. So 239 minus 38 minus 171. We have a $30 cushion in our checking account. I am doing a 1K challenge, your year to save $1,000. I share all of that on Tasha's Money and Stuff. But the reason why I'm mentioning it right now is because we're getting so close to finishing it, because we're so close to the end of the year. My goal is to finish that challenge before the end of December so that we can put that money in our checking account, and that would be our new cushion. $1,000, our minimum cushion right there, so we can just work with whatever is extra. And I'm hoping to have that done by November. Like by the end of November, I want the challenge finished so we can have a bigger cushion in our account. We can have more breathing room. So that's where we are for the last paycheck of September. And now I'm going to close out the budget itself. So if you're here for that, thank you. If you're not, thank you for clicking like before you leave. All right, so a couple things I need to look at. Did we have any goals that I wanted to hit? Yeah, I did, because I need to look at these. I know we're looking at the numbers, but we're also looking at goals and, you know, the vision for the month. I needed to add extra unspent money to next month's bills and household, and I've been doing that. I didn't do a good job of tracking it here on this vision board page, but I have been doing that. So I'm going to give myself a check and a yay for that. 100 shares challenge. We have been doing this. I think we were able to buy 3 more shares in the month of September so far, not including what I'm about to purchase today, Tuesday, September 26th. So I think we will get maybe 3.5, 3.25. That would be great. I'm glad that I continued with this. And then we did start putting our rent into the miscellaneous account, which is a high yield savings account with Capital One 360. I've been doing this instead of just leaving it in the operating account because we get more interest while it's sitting in that high yield savings account waiting for the next month for us to pay it. So this was, I think this was a success. Again, it's like almost 4.5% interest earning on that money that's just sitting there. And we still have another 4 or 5 days before the rent is due. So we have that extra time to gain a little more interest, which is because interest accrues daily. So that's why, one of the reasons why I really love high yield savings accounts. And I really like using Capital One because they really help us out. These are the top 3 goals I had for the month. Invest 5% each pay, which I have been doing. I can check that off without even checking my budgets. I know we did that. Complete the September savings towards 1K. This is just the September month. We did that. We are ahead of the game. We're now already saving for October's portion of this 1K challenge. So I'm glad we did that. We were to add 220 to transportation. I know for sure we did not do that. That we didn't hit. All right. Now let's take a look at the monthly budget. For the income, the first thing I need to do is check all of my budgets by paycheck to see exactly what the income is that we brought in, that we used for the month. So first paycheck was $700. Second paycheck was $700. Third paycheck was $700. Fourth paycheck was $700. Fifth paycheck, $750. $3,550 in total of income is what we used in the month of September. Okay. So the rent for October, we did put aside $1,500. I'm sure of it because we did $300 every single week. And looking at our miscellaneous account right now where we're housing this money, we have $1,700 in there. Some of that is actual miscellaneous expenses that we budgeted for. So I am going to be able to write $1,500 that we saved for October's rent. And now I can add up all of the bills. So $1,500 plus $76.92 plus $93.75, $32.50, $35.88. Nope. $35.88, $84.99, 94.24, 53.38. That's $1,974.33. Then we have our monthly savings. Start by looking at the budgets by paycheck to see how much did we save in our emergency fund. $10 in the first week, $10 in the second week, $10 in the third week, $10 in the fourth week, and $16 in the fifth week, which is the paycheck. So we saved in total $56 towards our emergency fund. Christmas. Let's see how much we saved in Christmas. $3 in the first week, $3 in the second week, $3 in the third week, $3 in the fourth week, and $0 in the fifth week. That's $15 that we saved for Christmas, $1 shy of what we budgeted. Then we have transportation. We worked to save $220. We didn't do that. Let's see how much we saved. $5 in the first week and second week, $5 in the third and fourth week, $11 in the fifth week. That's a total of $31 that we saved in transportation. Wellness. How much did we save there? The plan was $100. That didn't happen. I know it didn't. Wellness got the same amount as Christmas clothing and school. So that's $15. We saved $15 in wellness. Cash was $200. Let's see how much we pulled out in cash. $40 in the first week, $60 in the second week, $40 in the third week, $50 in the fourth week, and $70 in the fifth week. That's a total of $260. For gifts, we didn't put anything towards gifts, but towards clothing, we put $15. Household, we were to put $25. $5 in the first week, $5 in the second week, $5 in the third week, $5 in the fourth week, $10 in the fifth week. That's a total of $30. All right, then miscellaneous. The budget was for $5. We put more than that. So $49 in week 1, $150 in week 2, $102 in week 3, $80 in week 4, $59 in week 5. That's a total of $440 for miscellaneous. Now, what's not included in here is, let me see, we did wellness, we did clothing, we did Christmas, and we did school. I didn't put back the school, so I will write school here on the side because that is a savings. So for school, we saved $15 in the month of September because school, Christmas, clothing, all got $3 every single week, just about, except for the fifth week where it was that extra paycheck. So our total savings for the month, let's see what that's going to be. $877. Let me double check that. Yep, $877. That's amazing. Then we have miscellaneous, which is the last one. So the tithe, we know we put aside exactly what we used, $3,550. That's $355. That's how much we gave from this budget in the month of September. For food, we did budget for food, but again, we didn't actually have a separate line item for this in our budget because that money we front loaded from miscellaneous. Okay, so there was no food charges. I do track all of the spending that we do for the month in a separate video. So if you haven't, you can go back and check out my expense tracking video and you'll see exactly, you know, where we've been spending money on food. All right, the IRA, we were to put $100 there. Let's see how much we did put into our IRA for the month. I know we must have exceeded the amount because of that 5th paycheck. So in paycheck number 1, it was $35, and paycheck number 2, it was $35. Paycheck number 3 was $35, and paycheck number 4. Paycheck number 5 was $38. So we transferred a total of $178 to the IRA for the month of September. I'm happy about that because it was more than what we planned. Okay, so then we can total up the expenses for miscellaneous. It's $355 plus $178. It's $533. And now let's see what we have remaining. I hope we're not over. I hope we're not over. $3,550 minus the $1,974.33. We might be over. Minus $877. Minus, no, $533. $165.67. Am I missing something? I think I am. How? I think we're over. I know this says $165.67, but now I'm remembering, since I just closed out the 5th paycheck, we put $171 towards October's bills, which is still sitting behind in the account. So I have to add that in here. Let me do that. October bills, and I'll put in parentheses 2 because just 2 of them, and that was $171. So when we subtract that from here, we're actually over budget by $5.33. I knew we were going to be because some of the bills were higher than what they should have been. So $5.33, because this here, it's not $5.33, but $355 plus $178 plus $171, $704. And let me do that one more time to make sure my numbers are making sense. 3550 minus 1974.33 minus 877 minus 704. Yeah, $5.33 over budget for the month of September. Okay, and the budget check and the percentages. The actual income that was used, $3,550, $50 more. Bills came up to $1,974.33. Savings came up to $877, and miscellaneous was $704. So for percentages, we know that we're going to just do bill, savings, and miscellaneous. 55% of the income we use went towards bills. 24% of the income we used went to savings. 19% of the income we used went towards miscellaneous. That's giving, extra bills, and my IRA investing. That is how we broke down our budget. 55% went to bills, 24% went to savings, 19% went to miscellaneous, which is our giving, getting ahead of bills, because we did get ahead of bills, and then also investing. I had to include it in that bucket because I didn't include it there. So not too bad for the month of September. I also need to track our savings and see where we are as of today's date. So vehicle insurance started with $820 and ended with $820. Back to school started with $1276. 1268. Like I can't read. Back to school started with 1268 and ended with 2678. Vacation started with 147 and it's ending with 147. 40th birthday started with $75 and it's ending with $80. That's it for my Ally Bank purpose funds. With Capital One, Amazon started with 29 cents and it ended with 29 cents. Wellness started with $3 and it ended with $15. And then we have Christmas. Christmas started with 107.19 and ended with 119.55. And then transportation started with $328.04 and is ending with $98.29. And then clothing started with $14.60 and is ending with $26.60. These also accrue interest, but I'm closing out my September budget a little early, so the interest for September hasn't hit yet. So the balances would be higher, but I'll calculate the interest in October. So then we have next month's bills. It started September with $89.88. And it's ending with $102.95. And then annual bills started with $5.34. And it's 1 cent richer. It's ending at $5.35. Pay Myself started with $5.90 and is ending the month of September with $5.92.12. And that's everything that we have for our savings or our purpose funds. So let me add up all of the amounts and then we'll see where we ended. So let me add this up and see where we ended the month. $12,000. That's a prophecy. $1,222.13. So we're less than what we started with. And that's because some of these are revolving. So we had $1,384 to start. We subtract that from the what we have right now. We're negative $162.09. I'm not upset with that because I know that we increased our Pay Myself. We didn't add the interest yet. Next month's bills has grown. Annual bills grown passively with that 1 cent interest. And clothing's grown. Christmas has grown. Wellness has grown. My 40th birthday fund has grown. And back to school has grown. So we're still growing. We're still growing. And I'm still excited and grateful for that. So we're trying to do better in October because low spend October and save as much as possible. So that's the final look of September, you guys. We got ahead of 2 bills for October, which I'm grateful for. We were $5 over budget, but not so bad. Some of these bills came out a little higher than what was expected, but that's okay too because we had a cushion in the account. And I'm glad that we were able to save more than we budgeted for our savings. I'm really, really thankful that we were able to save more, and then we were able to cash flow some things. So that's it for September. How was your September budget? I hope it went well. Share with me in the comments what you feel you could do better. I feel I could do better with putting more money towards savings when we get extra, making extra income, and also being better with our spending and not overspending in the next month, because that was a big thing for me between August and September. And what I did well, I did track all of the expenses as hard as it was, and that 5% savings every week brings us to it makes it very much more consistent with our savings and our investing. So that's what I did well. Let me know how you enjoyed this video in the comments, and I really appreciate you for being here for as long as you did. Remember, do not worry about tomorrow and continue to mind your money, y'all. Manage it well and live your lives abundantly. Bye for now.